in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very spooky review of not a movie, but of a television show, and that is Mike Flanagan's The Haunting of Bly Manor, which stars Victoria Pedretti and is about... After an au pair's tragic death, Henry hires a young American nanny to take care of his orphaned niece and nephew, who reside at Bly Manor with the chef Owen, groundskeeper Jamie, and housekeeper Mrs. Gross. Alright, now with that done, Joker, start this review for us.
And here we go.
Now, going into The Haunting of Bly Manor, I was really looking forward to it, mainly because of Mike Flanagan. All the work that I've seen of his so far, I haven't seen everything that he's done, like Gerald's Game or Hush or a couple of others, but the work that I've seen of his has been pretty fantastic. Obviously from The Haunting of Hill House, which I thought was amazing and just so good. And then Dr. Sleep, which was one of my favorite movies of last year. And then you have Haunting of Bly Manor, which is the second season, not really, but sort of the second season of Haunting of Hill House, even though it has nothing to do with it. Completely, totally different story, but I was pretty excited going into it again mainly because of Mike Flanagan, and it's horror season. I love me some horror, and after watching it, I really liked it. The performances were great, and Mike Flanagan does bring back some of the cast members from Haunting of Hill House, and that may confuse some people as to if Haunting of Bly Manor is a continuation of Haunting of Hill House. And it's not. Haunting of Bly Manor is not a continuation of The Haunting of Hill House by any means. I liked all of the characters in the show. I cared for all of them. There are some wonderful twists and turns throughout this season of The Haunting of Bly Manor. I just did not see them coming. And there was one in particular where it just had me saying to myself, that was good. That was good stuff. Now, as far as the horror element of the show, I wouldn't recommend going into The Haunting of Bly Manor expecting a whole bunch of scares. It's definitely not much of a horror show as The Haunting of Hill House is. There are certainly some scares throughout the show that definitely had me sit back in my chair while I was watching it. The Haunting of Bly Manor could feel slow, mainly around the first half of the season, I'd say, as you're kind of figuring out what's going on, what's happening and all that. And especially if you're going into this show expecting, for a lot of expecting scares and all that, because there isn't a lot of scares throughout this season of Haunting of Bly Manor. But overall, I really liked The Haunting of Bly Manor. The performances were great. Really liked all the characters. I cared for all of them. There are some wonderful twists and turns. When there are scares in The Haunting of Bly Manor, I thought they worked. Again, not as scary as The Haunting of Hill House, which is definitely more horror than Bly Manor is. Bly Manor, I'd say, is probably more psychological, romance, and drama with horror elements, I'd probably say. But again, really liked The Haunting of Bly Manor, and I'd recommend it. But if you're going into this expecting more of a horror show like The Haunting of Hill House, then you'd probably be disappointed. And with that being said, leave a comment down in the comment section below of what you think of The Haunting of Bly Manor, and which one do you think is better, The Haunting of Bly Manor or The Haunting of Hill House? I'd personally go The Haunting of Hill House over Bly Manor, but Hill House is hard to beat, because to me Hill House is like one of the most scariest things, television or movies, that I've seen in the last 10 years or more. Hill House is absolutely just phenomenal, and again, Bly Manor is also really good as well. So I thought Bly Manor was overall a really good follow-up to Hill House, so good job Mike Flanagan and his team there, and cast and crew and all that. But with that said, don't forget to like and subscribe, because that is very important. You can follow me at The Kid Critic on Instagram or at Kid Critic on Letterboxd, and as always in every single video, look out for the next video or review. And peace.